Hello, everyone. Bună ziua. Now it's already afternoon, I think. First of all, thank you, Victor, for introducing me, but a big thanks goes to Petra, because she has done half of my job. she made you already enthusiastic about using videos in teaching, in working with the young generation. So my task for today is also to speak about the role of video and multimedia in education, in research and teaching. And this is actually what I personally believe, but this is also our belief as a team at Alexander Street. And the proof of this is that we were the first one worldwide who have developed the biggest, the best platform in the world. We have set up the standards for offering of streaming academic video and multimedia products, hybrid products, combining text, video, audio, etc. So we really believe that this is the future of academic publishing as well. So I have shared few facts about the importance and especially about the how successful Petra and her colleagues from that foundation are in involving students, in making education for them more interesting, and getting them really active in the process of learning. So the times have changed, and nobody will argue with me, I'm sure, on this. You can just see what happens in the video landscape, and I'll show you also what happens in the habits of students, what happens also with academics, with researchers, with teachers nowadays. You can see some facts from recent research. You see that YouTube today sees 1 billion unique visitors per month. This is an amazing number, and it's important also to say that a huge amount of hours are watched every single day, every single month. You can see some figures, of course, presented in front of you. In this regard, it's an amazing number. Over 6 billion of hours are watched monthly. And most of this consumption, almost all of this consumption, 90%, comes from the young generation. You see that the data are showing these are usually people between 18 and 34 years. So we can see that YouTube became nowadays twice the popularity of Wikipedia. We know what was the case a few years ago. Our students went first to Wikipedia to find the information, not to the printed encyclopedia and other reference works. What happens now? They don't even use so much Wikipedia. They go to YouTube, they are watching, they are looking for videos. They want to have the theoretical concepts visualized. They want to have an easier access to the knowledge. Video is currently representing 57% of the network traffic. And also, you can see some results of a recent research made showing that the video, the use of video, will dramatically increase, and by 2017, it will triple. Just to illustrate this, I have selected something on this slide from our historical products. And this is a bit in the light of upcoming elections in US, but also we know in many other countries we have upcoming elections. So I have just shown extraction, a slide from a video available in our news databases, presenting the first debate between presidential candidates in US. This happened back in 1960. This was the first actually filmed debate, which has been shown on the TV. And what's interesting here, and what also researchers, historians, politicians, researchers in different spheres can observe. This, as I said, this was the first debate shown on television. At that time, many people were still following the debate on the radio. And the debate between Kennedy and Nixon has been received controversially by people who were watching the debate on the television and people who have listened to the debate. People who have listened to the debate on the radio were thinking Nixon is winning because they were listening to his strong voice. He was quite aggressive, etc. But people who watched, they have observed they had the full picture. They have observed the body language of Kennedy. They have observed his facial expression, his behavior. So people who watched the debate on the TV were sure that Kennedy will win because he made it personal. This is also what the video is doing. It makes everything what we observe more personal. It makes also knowledge, what is communicated, more personal. So some more data about the growing significance of video in academic teaching and learning. Actually, I speak more about academic streaming video because we started and we are still focusing on academic streaming video, but we already started working on projects for K-12 schools, which could be probably of interest for Petra and her project. So you can see that 79% of students watch nowadays video voluntarily without having been asked by their lecturers to do this. It's just easier for them to understand the theory, to understand the concepts. But also streaming video is used more and more in the classroom. And I can also tell you some important developments in the educational laws in many countries which support this happening. As an example, many countries have accepted new educational laws, and I can give you an example of one of the recent updates of the Australian educational law, where all higher educational lecturers are obliged to include minimum 50% of their in their teaching. They have to include video information, multimedia information. I'm sure this will help also in our part of the world. I'm Bulgarian, so I know the situation here is more or less similar than in our country, in this part of the world, but we will be obliged, we will be asked. Already students ask us to do this. So, to summarize, video is now critical to not only for students, for lecturers, for researchers, for academic environment in general, but also for the libraries. There is a very strong demand for digital content, and this demand is rapidly growing. I probably, after what has been said by Petra, I don't need really to repeat some of her statements, but regarding the advantages of using videos for students for learning, because video can only improve students' outcomes, because it brings different perspectives. It brings the expert into the classroom. It extends the space and time in classroom. It helps teachers presenting the knowledge in the way students would like, etc., etc. So we have also seen from the slides presented already that nowadays all students, doesn't matter of their age, students of all age use video. They watch it, they listen to audio, they produce video themselves. They are using all kind of social media to communicate. So I could say that they are not only willing to watch something, but they need also the analysis added to these videos. They need also additional supportive information presented by the lecturers added to this material. This is something what we try to do. We are already working on this and are very successful in giving lecturers the chance to select, to extract information from all the peer-reviewed sources which we have, to select parts of it or full titles, to organize them, to add their notes, to give guidance to students, and then share these pre-class materials with selected groups of students. So just again a slide for fun. You can see how a concert looked like a few decades ago and how it looks like in recent times. So everybody has a device, a mobile device or electronic device for recording of something happening today. And this is not revolutionary. It's just an opportunity which has been presented by the new technologies, by the zeitgeist, as we say, by the ubiquity. So nowadays, there is more video content than ever. But even if everybody can make a video, there are many questions about the quality of this video, about the authority of those video sources, about the accessibility, searchability, etc., etc. So when it comes to libraries or to faculty members to select, to evaluate the content, we need to apply the same rules which we librarians have applied for ages, namely to check the quality, to check the curriculum relevancy, to check the breadth of content, the comprehensiveness of resources, to check also what are the faculty requests, what faculties considered appropriate, and of course to have such technological solutions which could make this content really well usable, easily usable, searchable, and also which give also everybody the options, the ability to share this content. So how are video and multimedia content being used in the academy so far? If you see this diagram, you can see that all of us have been on the bottom left, is it? Yeah, left side of this diagram, where all of us have used video as an entertainment. This is actually the videos, the amateur clips, which we can find on YouTube, and so things like this, something for fun. But YouTube is offering mostly the so-called entertainment or infotainment videos, where we don't have all the quality of sources and quality of content guaranteed. Where we focus on our work is to go up this scale and offering scientific, academic content, peer-reviewed content, selected by specialists, by editorial boards, to answer the specific needs of the academic environment. So what we usually do, we are analyzing the top, let's say 10 or 20, depending on the subject areas, curriculum around the world. And then we create a kind of a super curriculum. So we add all the topics which a lecturer should include in his class, in his discipline, and we start adding content to these disciplines. We start adding many and different items. You can see documentaries, demonstrations, PowerPoint presentations, lectures, for example, raw footage from ethnographers or anthropologists or archaeologists, etc. We add also interviews with leading professionals, training videos, etc., etc. So we make it professional, we make it academic relevant. And we make it relevant also for researchers. These are the usual kind of items which lecturers are using mostly in their teaching. You can see that documentaries and also feature films, training materials, but also television programs or content are very well used by lecturers in their teaching to present different theoretical concept. And there we see the role of both faculty members but also librarians just to make this kind of content available in the libraries in the same way we used to make available books, journals, articles, and other printed sources. So I have just a few slides which are just presenting the areas of use, just selected areas of use of the video content. Imagine you are teaching or interested in film studies. What could be better than showing your students, or then also for yourself as a researcher even, watching the real movies, the best movies, with the best critical analysis on them, to find in one place by using a cross-search facilities to find, for example, the film scripts, because we add also the text, a lot of text, to listen to some of the first recorded audio recordings of those, the first movies which have been shown only the silent movies where there was only a piano player, and so we have recordings from that time. Also, you can see actually captured all kind of different performances. And this is made teachable and researchable. You can search within the text, within the audio, within the video, and you can go to that place. You can show your students just a clip of 5 minutes, which is illustrating exactly what you think, and you don't need to have a pile of DVDs next to you just to try and put that one and the other one in the player to try to find the exact place where you want to show something. In the sphere of dance, you can see here, what's the pointer? This is I cannot show this there, but academic notation of a dance. So this was what academicians were using when they were teaching their ballet students, for example. But what does it show? Okay, professionally it's a good thing. We also include these academic notations for dancing. But imagine you can have also, in addition, the video, the performance presented. Then you can, again, see the facial expression. You can see exactly the position of the body. It's not just the pictogram showing that the hand should be like this, but the video presents much more. The same could be said about theater, about all performing arts. And here is also one testimonial of a teacher who is telling exactly this. Before, for each lecture, I had to prepare a pile of 50 DVDs. And it took me hours to get to the point to find each place which I want to show the students. Now I can prepare a playlist with your resources and have exactly the extractions I need to show. In education, in counseling and therapy, in psychotherapy, we have, again, a lot of production which shows students the different nuances, the body language. They can observe demonstrations of one-to-one real sessions between patient and a therapist, or between teachers and students, etc. They can see the real primary footwork. They can learn by watching. In anthropology, in ethnography, the videos are just amazing source for research and teaching. Of course, I have already mentioned something also about the news, about the history. We can have amazing observations. I can give you one example. When I was listening before to Churchill's speeches, I was not able really to understand everything because of his, also he had some problems with pronunciations. And now I'm watching the video, I have the text going aside, and it's fully synchronized, so I can really follow what he is saying. So I just realized for myself, wow, I now understand what he was really talking about. Okay, in all, across the disciplines, video helps us understand, judge, evaluate our work and the work of the others in a much better way. So what do we do to make video use in the academy successful? We work on the digitization. If you are representing an institution which has a lot of content, text, video, audio, we can do the digitization for you, offering the best, making it in the best possible quality. We can guarantee the quality both of content and of recording. We make this content searchable. We work on such a deep indexing that we are presenting every aspect of the text or of the video or of the audio. We guarantee the relevant speed of comprehension. We also add analysis, annotation. We give you the chance to add analysis and annotation to every single title or part of a title. And we offer you the ability to share using social media, to share the information in any of your learning management systems, Moodle, Blackboard, whatever you use, we work with them as well. We offer also mobile access to the content, so people can send the content, the titles to their mobiles, and even if they are not recognized as a user, they can have 48 or 72 hours access, even if they are outside of the academic network. And we guarantee the preservation. If you see this title in the database today, you can be sure that it will be there in 30 years as well. Okay, you can help us. You can do also a lot. where you can collaborate with us. And if you are interested in hearing more about this, you are welcome to visit our stand and to hear more about our specific products, about what subject areas we cover. You can take the advantage to take one of these brochures which presents very well all subject areas, and we can of course discuss also possible ways of collaboration where you could become our valued partner. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, and so I'm very glad to continue the conversation, the discussion on this topic.